finding somewhere like this that is out kind of old Hollywood, up in the hills of Los Feliz. This is the other LA. There's the beach LA, and then there's the cool old Hollywood LA. The lifestyle in Los Angeles has been a big draw for celebrities since the old Hollywood days, and Los Feliz was at the forefront of LA hotspots from the early 20th century. In fact, Los Feliz was cool before development even started in Beverly Hills. Just so you know, it was the first area where I lived after I was born. My parents rented Betty Davis's old house on Franklin Avenue, right here in Los Feliz. So have a special affinity for the place. Los Feliz Boulevard is kind of what people will think of as the main drag through here, but it's the main thoroughfare across if you're going east-west. But it's not the area where you kind of hang out. There's just big stately homes and beautiful properties on either side of it. But the main hangout spots are on Vermont Avenue, Hillhurst, and going the other way down on Franklin. Though more of the kind of entertaining part of Franklin, you're actually crossing at Hollywood. But this end of town is just gorgeous. So many big estates. I've been in quite a lot of these properties in the last few months. And, it's an area where the architecture has stayed. You're not seeing so much tear down here in Los Feliz proper, even though this is City of LA, which does not do a great job of protecting architecture. But there's just some great, beautiful properties around here, both in the houses and in condos. Just up a little ways here, the amazing view from Los Feliz Towers, which are the only two real big tower buildings for condominiums around here. My dad kept one of those as an office for years back in the 60s. So we're going back a ways here. I was pretty little then. But the view from those, you're looking out across everything. And of course, you can get a house up in the hills with those kind of views too. And that is pretty hard to beat. If you live in the Los Feliz area, your life will certainly center to a certain extent around Vermont Avenue, where we're walking right now, and Hillhurst, which are the areas where you'll find the most cafes and things. You'll find more along Franklin Avenue. This is, of course, an area of cafes and restaurants and just a great area to hang out. And there are places all along Vermont, running all the way down through Los Feliz, and it is just the kind of area you come to if you want some life. It's not the quiet little community that you'll find in some spots. It's a place that you come because you want a little bit of energy. I like hanging out here. In fact, come to think of it, I'm kind of in the mood to head over and stop in and get some Italian Palermo's, because it's been a while since I've been over there. And that was one of my hangouts back in my college days, which is an idea of, I have been there since college, but I have definitely been there since college, but that was when we were there all the time. Of course, I lived 5 minutes from here back in those days, so it was a little easier. Whether you're seeking a cultural hub, an outdoor adventure, or architectural excellence, Los Feliz has something for pretty much everyone. Today, the area is celebrated for that historic architectural heritage. This isn't one of those parts of LA that's all being torn down to build big boxy glass houses. Well, there's a few of those as well, but they're mostly up in the hills, and usually it's to replace something that it was beyond repair. It's a neighborhood that's doing a better job of holding on to its history. And that history dates all the way back to the Spanish land grants in 1784, when the area was part of the old Rancho Los Feliz. And the neighborhood played a key role in the development of early Los Angeles. In the early 20th century, after he'd acquired the rancho from the Feliz family, Griffith J. Griffith, who'd have made a fortune in mining, donated the land to create Griffith Park, where I am right now, and it sits right above Los Feliz and makes this one of the best city-close outdoor areas anywhere. Outdoor lovers are, of course, excited to have Griffith Park right next door, with hiking areas and iconic landmarks like the Griffith Observatory and the Greek Theater. There's 3 golf courses, horse trails, and even the LA Zoo and the Gene Autry Western Heritage Museum nearby. The park right next to the district gives Los Feliz a pretty unmatched mix of convenient outdoor activities in LA. Just as Griffith Park anchors Los Feliz to the north, at its south end is Frank Lloyd Wright's first West Coast design, the Hollyhock House, which Wright built for oil heiress Aileen Barnsdall in the early 1900s. And she also gifted that property to Los Angeles in 1927. That was also the beginning of Wright's proteges arriving to put their mark on LA. They're all started here, right here, and a lot of those homes are in the Los Feliz area. That's one of the things that makes it such a great place to live if you're an architecture buff like me. But it's not just one specific kind of home. Los Feliz has multiple neighborhoods, and each has its own character. And like areas all around the city of Los Angeles, it's divided up into neighborhood council districts. District A is everything above Los Feliz Boulevard. District B is Los Feliz Square, the village. That's District C. District D is the Knolls, which are the hillside areas south of Los Feliz Boulevard, north of Hyperion and Franklin Avenue. And then District E below that is the Franklin Hills, which is south of Franklin Avenue down to Fountain Avenue. The Prospect Studios is at Prospect and Talmadge, where a lot of the soap operas filmed and things. My dad hosted a daily interview show there all the way back in 1950. So we go back a little ways in there. And then District F is, for some reason, over on the other side of to the west, and that included Laughlin Park and the neighborhood below down to Hollywood Boulevard. Within all that, you'll find some of Los Angeles' best and most livable neighborhoods. Los Feliz Estates is slightly newer than some of the other areas community, with a lot of contemporary homes and modern stuff with sweeping views of the city. It's a popular area for buyers looking for some luxury along with privacy. So the areas closer to the Los Feliz Village are basically mostly condos, townhouses. There's also some cool old classic craftsmen, some other stuff around here. But the majority of the properties you're going to find around the village is where it's a little bit more dense, but that may be what you're looking for. It's also a lot more affordable and still gets you into Los Feliz, which is a pretty cool place to be. And these areas are aligned with cafes and restaurants and boutiques. Nearby residential streets feature classic California bungalows and Mediterranean-style homes. There's also entry-level condo and apartment properties starting all the way down in the mid-500s and into the 600,000s. So even as upmarket as the overall area is, it's still possible to get in here. Now, south of Los Feliz Boulevard, it's a bit more of a mix. You'll find a lot of old bungalows from middle of the previous century. And a lot of those have been knocked down for apartment buildings and condos. It's much more high density around here, but mixed in with some of the old bungalow and classic places. So it's not quite as picturesque as the Oaks area up above Los Feliz. But still, the nice thing about here is you're right off the main drags. You're right off Vermont. You're right off of Hillhurst. You're here by Franklin. Laughlin Park is a historic gated enclave that's been home to Hollywood legends like Charlie Chaplin, Cecil B. DeMille. In fact, to put this area at the other end of the spectrum, at the time we're filming this, the DeMille estate is for sale for a little under $30 million. And the seller is Angelina Jolie. And now, that's right off Los Feliz Boulevard, and W.C. Fields lived there back in the day, and so modern celebrities like Natalie Portman and Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. A lot of big homes, plenty of privacy, and a lot of history behind those gates. One of my favorite neighborhoods is Franklin Hills, which has the hillside beauty of Los Feliz' southern neighbor, Silver Lake, but with a more relaxed vibe. But you can still be in the heart of each area in just a few minutes. And there are some great homes in there, especially for mid-century lovers like me. It's also where you'll find the well-known Shakespeare Bridge, which really has nothing to do with William Shakespeare, but when it was originally built in the 20s, people thought it looked like something you might have found in Elizabethan London. Don't ask me. The northern edge of Los Feliz climbs into the hills where you'll find the Oaks, one of the neighborhood's most prestigious and private-feeling residential enclaves. And that borders Griffith Park and is technically located outside the official border of Los Feliz, but it's always considered a part of the area by all of us in real estate. Homes are built into the hills, and sometimes fitting creatively into some smaller lots, all on small winding streets to fit in. But it's an area with very little through traffic. So just, and that's just on the edge of Los Feliz there, and you'll find spots where Los Feliz blends into the nearby neighborhoods. Hollywood Grove is a little neighborhood that features well-preserved 1920s and 1930s homes. And it's an ideal spot for those who appreciate some historic architecture and a tight-knit community. It's also the only actually designated historic district in the area, which makes more homes eligible for Mills Act tax savings. When people from around the country are considering relocating to Los Angeles, they usually don't realize just how huge it is and how different the areas can be. But if you're looking for one of the quintessential LA experiences, Los Feliz is extremely hard to beat. And if you're interested in buying or selling a home in Los Feliz or pretty much anywhere in the greater Los Angeles region, feel free to reach out. I've lived around here all my entire life and know most of the region like the back of my hand. So contact information is in the show notes down below, and you can book an appointment there if you'd like to see if we're a good fit to work together. And depending on how you're watching this video, YouTube will probably suggest you check out one of our looks at one of the nearby neighborhoods. The biggest challenge of Los Feliz really is just getting around through the traffic. Griffith Park Boulevard, Los Feliz Boulevard, basically parking lots this time of day. So, I was silly enough to start doing the last shots of this at the latter part of the day, which means it's going to take me 10 minutes just to get the 2 blocks to the freeway. But that is one of the things you give up in order to live somewhere that's this cool, this fun. And I'd still say Los Feliz is well worth it if this is the kind of area that appeals to you.